Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers. And in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing our upcoming game against Everton. But before I get into the review, guys, you know the drill. Please like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications so you'll be notified every time we make a new video.
Welcome to the Burton Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah.
Right, guys, so tomorrow evening we play against Everton. That's a late game, the 8 o'clock game with us. This is one of 3 8 o'clock games we've had. You know, obviously we played last week at 8, we played in midweek at 8, and now we're playing another game at 8 o'clock. So Everton, a few weeks ago I'd have said this was a really tough game, but Everton's form has tailed off a bit, so giving us a bit of a chance. But we don't take anything for granted, because Everton is always a tough place to go to. Last year we got beat 3-1 at that ground. They've got Calvert-Lewin there, and he's in great form, top goal scorer in the Premier League, and he's high in confidence at the moment, so he's somebody that we've got to keep a close eye on. So let's concentrate on Everton for a bit. And the reason why their form has dropped, because they had won their first 4 games, I think, of the season, and everyone was lauding Carlo Ancelotti. He made some really good buys, some smart buys, you know, the sign of Rodriguez, Allen, and Corey has given them better balance in the middle of the park, and they were, you know, scoring for fun. They're beating only team this season to beat Tottenham, and looking good. But it all started to go wrong after the international break, and that's why I don't like international breaks, because Luca Digne went away with France, came back with an injury. Seamus Coleman went away with Ireland, and he too came back with an injury. And for those who know how Everton play, obviously James and Richarlison are kind of number 10s, different types of number 10s. Yeah, with Rodriguez, he's more of a creative type, and with Richard, I wouldn't say he's number 10, but he's not a pure natural winger. What he likes to do, he likes to roam left, right, but he doesn't like stay on one touchline and hug the touchline like a pure winger. And so the way that they play, as I said, they play with 2 tucked in just behind Calvert-Lewin, and their width, they rely on their width from Luca Digne and Seamus Coleman. Both of them are great fullbacks who can put in excellent crosses. And so now that those 2 are out, it's kind of imbalanced the team a bit, and they are not as cohesive as they were at the beginning of the season. I was watching their game last week, and they ended up playing Godfrey, the guy they bought from Norwich. He had to play in one of the full-back positions, but that's not his natural position. So that's somewhere we can exploit tomorrow. But horses for courses, really, because I'm talking about Everton's woes with their full-back positions, but Chelsea also have their woes with wingers, because Frank Lampard did his press conference yesterday, and an update on the Ziyech and Callum Hudson-Odoi, the 2 players who kind of really exploited the fact that they haven't got proper full-backs. They're both going to be out for 2 weeks with hamstring injuries, so Frank's not going to rush any of them back. So hopefully there'll be no complications and they'll be back, because we've got a busy period, a busy Christmas period. Because going back to Carlo Ancelotti, he said in his press conference that he'll need to start resting players, because Everton used to play 1 game a week, but now they're going to be playing over the Christmas period. They're going to play similar to what our programme has been all season, like 2 games a week all the way through December. So his squad is not as big as Chelsea's, so he said that he's going to be having to do a bit of rotation. I don't think he'll be rotating Calvert-Lewin tomorrow, but he said he's going to be one of the guys who he's going to be rotating with Toussaint. So yeah, so Chelsea, those 2 are out, the 2 I've just mentioned, and He's given us an update on Christian Pulisic, because Pulisic didn't play, he wasn't featured on the game against Krasnodar on Tuesday. But Frank Lampard said he had a little niggle. He said if he needed to play, he would have, but he's got a little niggle. That's a bit of a concern, really, because obviously he's not still 100% fit. And with the games coming thick and fast, with our other two wingers injured, then it's about how we balance out the games for Pulisic, because we don't want to overplay him and aggravate that injury again, and we don't let that be three wingers out, and that'd be a disaster. So Frank Lampard's got several options. Could I see him playing today, Saturday and Tuesday, because we've got Wolves on Tuesday as well? It all depends. So we may see how he gets on tomorrow and see, and Frank would probably speak with the physios and the fitness coaches just to see whether he's capable of at this time of playing 2 games in a week. But we've got options, we've got other options. We may have to even change the formation, maybe to have 2 up front, because like we can have Werner and Abraham, or Werner and Giroud up front sometimes, with a diamond midfield, and that way, that's the way we can cope without any wingers. But obviously I don't think we'll do that tomorrow. But I'm just saying that if just in case Pulisic isn't fit enough, then that's another option that Frank Lampard can consider. Apart from the 2 that are already injured, Frank said there's no other injury concerns, which is great news. And it's going to be a fascinating match, because he's going to be coming up with one of his former managers in Carlo Ancelotti, somebody who Frank Lampard had a great amount of joy with when we won the double, and he still has a great amount of respect for Carlo Ancelotti. And Ancelotti was one of my favourite managers at Chelsea, especially the season that we won the double. That was some of the best football that we've played. And so as I said, we can't underestimate Everton, because they're going through a poor run of form at the moment. But I think if we play at our optimum, then I think that we'll still get the result. So going on to my team selection tomorrow, obvious choice is Mendy in goal, Reece James at right back, left back Ben Chilwell, and Zuma and Silva are going to be my centre-back pairing. N'Golo Kante is going to be at the pivot, and I will... Right, so I think Kovacic and Mason Mount are going to be the 2 number 8s, and I'll have Kai Havertz playing on the... Tricky. Scrap that. I'm going to have, I'll stick with Kovacic. I'll stick with those 3. And I will have Pulisic on the left. I'll have Giroud up front. And I will have Timo Werner on the right. And I'll switch out Pulisic with Havertz as the game goes on. It could have been either or. It could have been Havertz or Pulisic. But I think, I'll start with Pulisic and maybe swap him for Havertz, dependent on how the game is going. I think Havertz needs, it's not fully fit yet for me. It didn't look quite fit enough when we played on Tuesday. So I think easing him back into games is the right thing to do. And Kovacic is in a decent form at the moment, playing in that 8. So I'll stick with a winning formula. So that's my selection. And my score for tomorrow, it's going to be a tough game, but I think we're going to come away with a 2-1 victory. So your turn now. Comment below. What do you think the team is going to be? What's your team lineup for tomorrow? And what's your score prediction also? I'll probably do a live reaction after the game. Stay tuned. Keep posted in my community page for details if I'm going to be doing it or not. And until then, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.